my identity. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nobody's Happy Podcast, the official podcast of men going their own way. With me, as always, is Josh Cabaza.
What's up?
Joshua Cabizzle. What's going on, everybody? Had a good weekend of shows. Did Ty's recording that he does in his house. This dude has a fucking a stage set up in his house, and he brings people that are that I don't know how the fuck you get people into. Maybe that's why I'm not an international superstar, because I don't even know how people get people they don't know into a room. But this motherfucker has a comedy club in his living room, and I went to go do his show, just opening up for him. And it was fucking awesome, man. He had like fucking people in all the 2 shows that we did, and he did another 4 the next day on Saturday. And I couldn't go because I was doing a show at the Blind Tiger, and that was fucking crazy, man. There was a dude he wasn't heckling, he was just really drunk, and he was so hammered he wasn't making any sense. And then eventually I found out that he was in the military, right? And he was getting, I don't know, I think he might have some kind of PTSD or something, because I started talking to him because he wouldn't stop talking to the girl that was next to him, and I started asking him questions, and we had a good time. Everybody was laughing at the shit I was saying about him, and about him and the girl. But then he kept on doing it, and I kind of ran out of steam of like funny things to say, and I was like, dude, are you all right, man? And this, and then that's where he just kind of like he's so gone. He's just kind of sitting in his chair, and he's just like, I killed 14 people, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to atone for my sins.
Oh shit!
I was like, fuck, and I could tell that he was a former military guy, because after Will got off stage, somebody else went on, and he came upstairs to go get another drink, and he went up to him and like just super drunk, and he was like, hey, you were in the military too, man? And then they talk for a little bit, and then right as he's like, can I buy you a beer, man? And all this stuff. And then at some point, he comes back. No, keeps coming back and forth up and down the stairs. And at some point, he's just standing. I'm sitting in the stairs, and he's standing like next to me. And he goes, hey. And I go, what's up, man? And he goes, do you have a girlfriend? Yeah. And I go,
there's no good answer to that.
Yeah. And he goes, and then that's it. That's all he said. And then he walked away, and Jake was Flores. He was standing there, and he goes, dude, I think that guy wanted to fuck you.
Yeah.
And he goes, man, I feel like awkward. And I was like, yeah, dude, what the fuck do you think I feel? That's fucking weird. And then he was a big dude, you know?
saved yourself from an ass whooping. Literally an ass whooping.
I wanted to grab him and be like, don't leave, dude. Don't fucking leave me.
Wait, the guy or Jake?
Both of them.
Don't leave me. What I need.
No, but it was wild, man. And I didn't know how to, but by then I had already made enough, cracked enough good jokes off of it where people were dying.
Yeah.
So that afterwards, when he revealed that, everybody was just like, Jesus. And I just didn't know how to react to it. And I just said, yeah, man, I was in the army too. I was in Afghanistan, Iraq. You know, you get shot at, you shoot at people. You know, it's what happens. And then I said, but, you know, alcohol doesn't help. And then I just grabbed my beer and I started drinking. Everybody started laughing. I was like, oh, it helps a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Give me your beer.
Oh, yeah. One of the couples that was there got me a beer, too. It was running out. Thank you, guys, whoever that was. So, yeah, man, come check out the shows. They get fun, man. I'm headlining on the 21st to the 23rd at the Laugh Out Loud. Hopefully that goes well, too. Yeah, because that show was a little show at the Blind Tiger, but it was still fun because I you know, I was drinking. That dude got all wild, and I started talking, and people started having a good time. So, yeah, hopefully we have good shows. I've started noticing more people coming out, like, hey man, I know you from watching your shit and all this stuff. So thank you everybody that comes out to the shows. Hopefully we can grow this thing big enough where we can start going out of the state and going out more often. Well, so what's on the news? Fucking Elon Musk releasing the Twitter files. Have you heard about that, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that entails? What that's about? It's the how Twitter was, I guess, suppressing conservative voices.
Ah, man, it's just the opposite side of the coin that's trying to suppress real news. Because on one side, why at this time is he's releasing that, and on the other side, what do they talk about? Not the Twitter files. They talk about that girl who was released from Russia.
Oh, Brittany Griner. The basketball player.
And that's what's taking like all this media news, and it's just like, yo, but what about all the debt and the 65 trillion that's missing from banks right now? And, you know,
so
what I
you
mean?
think it's a little giving the masses some bread for them to chew on?
Only because I'm not watching CNN and Fox News and MSN. I'm not watching that. I'm watching like stock channels, and that's what I call them, stock channels. So you know.
So you're like Predator, the movie Predator, where he switches the vision from like infrared to night vision and all this other shit. You're just like looking at the same thing but through the lens of economics.
No, I'm a little turtle poking his head halfway out the shell and being like, looking at things and thinking he understands the world,
and then
but
just
doesn't
building
see
an
shit.
entire world in your head based on one you saw.
Exactly. And then when something else comes by that's different, I'm like, I didn't see that.
It's hard to fucking keep up with what's important, because everything presented the right way seems like important news.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely that Brittany Griner thing, because people are saying like, you know, we have a Marine guy that's being held over there. Why didn't they switch the what do they call him? The Merchant of Death.
Yeah.
Why didn't we trade the Merchant of Death for that Marine guy instead of Brittany Griner? And what they said was that it's because the Russians said it's either for the basketball player or nothing at all.
Oh.
God only knows if that's the truth, but it is what it is, man.
Better negotiators.
Better negotiators.
Snowden is now a citizen in Russia.
Of Russia, yeah.
Yeah.
But because they wouldn't let him come back or whatever.
Yeah, but going over there, you don't think he said something to them? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to grant you citizenship, but what did you say to them about, like, are you talking shit behind their back? You know what I mean? Did you give up our secrets?
Oh, yeah. No, but wasn't he, I don't even know what Snowden is ostracized for.
He was working for the NSA, and he was the whistleblower that said, hey, yo, they're listening to all your phone calls, when that was a conspiracy back then.
Okay, so then what's his face? Assange. He's the WikiLeaks, right?
Yeah, so he had let out files that apparently got American spies or United States citizens killed. Because he let those files out.
Yeah, but it was also revealing war crimes.
Correct, but he killed the people doing the war crimes, I guess.
It's something that we can neither prove or disprove right now.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do?
I mean, I can Google it, but...
What, and then read? And then get informed about shit? Why? We can just make it up as we go along. Julian Assange is...
Julian.
Isn't that weird, though? When your humanity gets used against you. That guy was cheating on his wife, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe he wasn't with his baby mama.
Was that in the movie?
I don't know. But it's how the way they got Julian Assange is they got somebody to say that he sexually assaulted somebody or something like that. So apparently he was saying no, it was consensual sex, and now this lady or person is saying that this is how uninformed I am. I don't even know if it's a dude or a chick that was accusing him of that.
I think it was a woman.
Okay, because I heard something about the guy that was accusing him, or some guy was like a known sex offender or some shit like that. See, I don't even know the fucking whole story.
So the sex offender was accusing him?
Or was testifying, I guess, on... I don't even fucking know. But this is food for thought for those of you out there to make your own assumptions and go like, yeah, some fucking Mexican comedian told me that that guy was falsely accused or some shit. But I don't know. I don't know how...
We were talking about the Twitter files that were released.
Oh, right. Yeah, and Elon Musk got Dave Chappelle brought him up on stage, and I guess Elon Musk got booed by Dave Chappelle's crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I have no idea. I mean, I guess for the Twitter file things, but I guess people are looking at it from a political perspective.
Yes, he's the equivalent of liking Trump or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so weird.
It would be like
energy.
if Bill Gates went up at a country music concert, you know?
And they all booed the fuck out of him.
They're gonna boo the shit out of Bill Gates.
Yeah, but it's weird though, right? Because it's Dave Chappelle is also somebody that's what's the term, persona non grata between the Democrat liberals, which is who hates Elon Musk, but they were at Dave Chappelle's show.
But liberal centrist still like him.
Is that what that is?
It's like I'm a liberal person, but I'm not all the way over there. Like,
I don't know. I just find it hard to root for somebody that has so much money, or against them. To be honest with you, it's like they live on another whole fucking reality where you can't really get in trouble.
But what did really that person do for you? Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like they helped me through tough times because their show was hilarious, or they, you know what I mean? I enjoyed watching this. I looked forward to this during a horrible time, and so you want them.
Just like entertainment, you're living through them.
Most people do.
I don't know what that's like, man. To try to live through. I mean, I guess I root for
porn. You support people who do porn when you watch it. That's entertainment for you.
No, I haven't watched porn in a while.
3 days, 4 days?
No, like months.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I watch ladies, but
oh yeah, you switched to Instagram.
Instagram, but also now on YouTube. YouTube is like, here you go, little pervert. I know what you like. It's just, but it's like just basically like actual models.
Yeah.
Like doing the runway thing. They just happen to be modeling underwear and swimsuits.
You masturbate like a 13-year-old.
Yeah, it's actually
it's so pure.
I feel better about it. I'm like, yeah, that bra. Let me just imagine what it's like to take it off.
You're the guy who steals your mom's Victoria's Secret magazines to jack off to.
Oh my God, I did.
Yeah,
I did used to.
Yeah.
I'm just going back to my roots.
You know, that's so gross because it's your mom getting it, but it's like, I'm going to take it.
No, it's for the family. Because the one that I used to use was the one where
the one specific one.
It was just regular Sears catalog. It was like apple pie. It was American, you know, like it's a bunch of tools, fucking lawnmowers, and then it's like also look at these modestly underwear wearing ladies. And I thought it was like, this is titillating, and I'm going to keep this. And I guess, I don't know, after a while, you know, I'm sure my mom got kind of like, why does a 13-year-old have a collection of Sears magazines?
She looked through them?
Yeah. She was like, I'm throwing these away.
Why? I was like, not my Sears.
My Sears! Dude, but I mean...
I was an evil genius. So they thought that they weren't getting their magazines anymore, but I was the first one taking it.
Oh shit! You were intercepting the magazines.
I was intercepting the magazines.
But what magazines?
Victoria's Secrets, and I would hide them underneath my brother's bed, like in between the comforter or not the comforter,
so like evil
the mattress
genius.
And the box spring.
Like you don't even hide it in yours.
No,
you hide it in somebody else.
I hid it in his for 2 years, and then we end up moving rooms. Like we're switching everything around.
Oh no!
And my aunt picks up the mattress. She's like, And she tells my brother, she's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "I've never seen that in my life."
Oh no, which is something that a liar would say.
I promise it wasn't me. And I walk in and they go, "Josh." I was like, "What's up?" And I see it, but I'm like cool with it. I'm just like,
just dead on the
I'm
inside.
just like, well, and I go up to it and I pick up the magazine. I'm like, "Oh, hey."
Wait, what kind of magazines were
Victoria's
they?
Secret.
Victoria's Secret. Oh.
Yeah. And so I was just like, "So can I have these?" And they're like, "It was under Tim's bed." I was like, "Tim, what oh, bro,
no.
what is this?"
Damn, did he ever like as a grown up go like, remember that fucking time, dog?
He kept trying to blame me, and I was like, "Dude, you have a problem." And then like years later, like we're already like, I'm like 19, 20. I was like, "Oh yeah, those were mine. Those were all mine." And he's like, I told you, like mad about it.
Damn, dude, that's like the what is it? A long-term gaslighting.
Yeah. For years.
Damn, and he was. I bet you there was even times where like, man, am I losing my fucking mind? Like,
No, he just knew. He knew. And what made him mad, because he'd be like, "Just admit it to me. Just tell me."
he still wouldn't.
And
like
I'd be
behind
like,
closed doors.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Dude, maybe Dad." I don't know. Maybe our aunt wanted.
Oh, what a monster! You're like making him look, and you're making your dad look even worse now. This guy's sick in the head. What do you want me to tell you?
I don't know, man. This is.
Yeah, but I mean,
It was during Christmas too.
I guess now I'm doing the adult version of that, of that little technique. It's just keep it wholesome. Why do we have to have, raw cheek clapping?
As an adult, though, is it more wholesome or is it creepier?
No, it's it's antiquated.
How so?
It's what people used to do back in the day. You use your imagination. You're like, And now it's like, no, I want to see a chick taking 3 dicks. And it's like, fuck, dude. I see it porn exactly like any other like stimulating substance. Like I drink a lot, and sometimes I have to take a break, and it's not just for my health, which primarily, yeah, but also it hits you harder when you go back to it. After it's a while. It's the same thing with porn. It's like I'm scrolling through these like nah. It's like it's a naked chick like fucking, and I'm like nah.
Yeah, but it's too much of the dude's ass in the shot. I don't.
And hairy asshole too on top of that.
Yeah.
Just plowing away. I remember the first time I ever saw hardcore pornography when I was like 14 or 15, and I was hanging out with my cousin, and we would go to all his friends' houses and just hang out. They like drink and smoke. And one of those days they were playing like a porno. But it was like, that was the first time I was seeing like holy shit, you could see the guy's dick and the chick's vagina.
Yeah.
Because before that, it would be like, the Squiggly channel. It was old enough, know what like Channel 99 was. Skinamax. You go it, and it's all squiggly, but every once in a while, like a quarter of it, and you see like a titty, and then you beat off to that.
With your foot on the door, just like, don't come in.
Fuck, with the foot on the door. I was so paranoid. It was like everybody had to be gone.
Oh, wow.
So if everybody was gone, it was like that.
You're fucking that house up.
It was like, what is
Home Alone?
No. Chris Rock, when he says, "You ever have a good jerk that there's nobody in the house, jerk,"
Yeah.
and you just look at your dick like, scream all you want, there's nobody gonna hear you. That's how it was. It was fucking like liberating. That's why even as a kid, I remember seeing Chris Rock do that, and I was like, that's hilarious, because that's what I do.
You're gonna get it. I softcore porn I saw like young, like 12 years old, because of Cinemax and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't see a hardcore porn until I went to a party, and they were playing porn on the TV. And I was the weirdo because I didn't drink at the time or do any drugs.
Oh, no.
So everybody's partying and dancing and doing. I'm the only one sitting on the couch, Yeah, like watching the porno, then turning and looking around, and then going back to the porno, and
Nobody else is catching it.
I look like the creep apparently.
Oh,
And
did
then-
they address this with you?
Yeah, by saying stand up, and I was I was like, what?
Why?
Like, stand up? Like,
You just look like a jackknife, just barely. Like at an angle.
I know. Thinking about it at the party, I should have just stood up, and be like, this is all me. How you like that? And I didn't.
No, that's
I was
something.
trying to wait for it to go soft so I can be like, come on.
Oh,
come on.
you did have a.
Oh, hard. Yeah.
You were flooded,
Yeah. Just
engorged. Dick. That's why dick jokes are hilarious because dicks are just funny. By
I was
nature.
wearing khaki cargos, so I could.
Oh shit! And they make a nice shadow of the
Yeah.
crease.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that if I was like sporting a hog.
Yeah. Well, no, the dead giveaway is I had a pillow over my lap like that.
You idiot!
But I would normally do that, even if I'm just chilling there. If you have a throw pillow, I'm gonna put under my arm.
But that's like guilty behavior anyway.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your brother saying, "I've never seen those in my life." Like, yeah, that's what a kid would say if you go under his mattress and there's
That's
all
so
kinds of porn.
evil. That's horrible.
It's evil genius, in a way. I mean, it's a huckster,
That's what my dad would call me, huckster.
a huckster.
Yeah.
I didn't even learn that that word till like I heard somebody. I think it was Greg Proops,
Yeah.
who was saying that he saw Bill Hicks doing a show, and afterwards he was like, "Hey, Bill, don't you have like a bunch of CDs? Like, why don't you sell your CDs after the show?" And he said that Bill just looked at him and goes, "What am I, Greg? Some kind of huckster?" I was like, "Fuck, that's so great," but also that's why he wasn't selling out stadiums because of his attitude.
But so huckster's derogatory. It's not a.
Yeah, it's kind of like a. I mean, you can probably look it up, but from what I understand, a huckster is just basically like those dudes that used to like go around town selling elixirs. Get your elixir, sir. You look like you have trouble satisfying your wife in bed.
A person who sells small items either door to door or from a stall or small store.
Yeah, door to door. Yeah, like
I
a.
did all that.
But I guess the connotation is that you're just this swindler.
Yeah. Swindler and huckster, I think, are two different. The original
But they're
meaning of
kind of-
huckster is a person who sells small articles either door to door or in a small stall, like a peddler or a hawker.
Yeah, it's like and look, the term probably derives from the Middle English huck, meaning
To
to
haggle.
haggle. So it's somebody that's a slick-tongued dude. But I do think it's got a negative connotation to it.
Yeah, I've been called huckster since I was
Using-
like 5 years old.
Oh yeah, see, serves by is anyone who sells something or serves biased interest using pushy or showy tactics. Yeah, it's somebody that's a slick motherfucker, you know.
In Scotland, the term is referred to a person, usually a woman, who bought goods, watered them down,
Really, fuck.
and resold in tiny quantities.
I always
Oh.
imagined a dude, but I guess that's in Scotland.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are women good at scamming? I guess we have that one lady,
Yeah, of course.
that took billions. What was her name? Elizabeth something, or Liz?
Took billions from who?
Theranos. Theranos.
The one for the cancer thing.
lady that used to pretend to talk like this.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah, dude. And she started wearing like a turtleneck, like Steve Jobs, because she wanted to be like the female
Yeah.
Steve Jobs. Well, ladies, try harder. This whole scamming thing, scamming people out of things, it's a lot harder than it looks. I'm a man and I can't do it.
And she went to prison, right?
I think so, but I mean, some of these like rich white folks that do criminal shit like that, they end up. Did you hear Ghislaine Maxwell is just having a good old time? She got switched from like that kind of dingy prison that Epstein was in to like a nice little what they call Fed reserves.
Mm-hmm.
Not Fed reserves. Fed reservation. What's the term for when
Well,
like?
you know what? She kept her mouth shut. It's no now she.
That's what
gets
they were saying. That she
rewarded.
kept her mouth shut.
She gets rewarded for it.
And that her dad was a former Mossad or like the Israeli version of the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this lady, I forgot her name, something Webb, but she came out with a book. It's called One Nation Under Blackmail, and it talks about that Epstein was not a lone standing case.
Mm-hmm.
They said that the CIA has a history of using sexual blackmail. Like apparently J. Edgar, who was the guy that invented the FBI?
J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover. Apparently he got blackmailed by the mafia because there was pictures of him blowing one of his fucking underling guys.
The main guy that he was with for like years. It was like his husband.
What?
Yeah, his assistant.
So there was two.
That's what I saw in the movie.
Oh shit, the one with what's his dick? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
I got to see that movie. I never got to see that.
They
movie.
never say it, but it's Smithers. It makes it seems like
they
what I mean?
imply it.
Yes,
he's his Smithers. Man, I wonder if that's the inspiration for Smithers and Mr. Burns is what's it called, a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't fucking know that. I had heard that the dude was like a cross dresser back in the day, or a term from back in the days. That he used to like to wear like women's stockings and all that shit.
That was a joke on, I think, cartoons too, that the FBI
would do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, which is apparently that's why the FBI never really went after the mob back in the day. And if you think about it, that was kind of like the golden era of the mafia. And it wasn't until like the 80s and 90s that they started kind of like going after them. But that was one example of like how it all started, and then eventually the FBI and the CIA were like, we got to start doing this whole fucking like catching somebody with their dick out thing, and apparently Epstein was not the only person that was chummy with the intelligence agencies. There was a practice, and this is about, you gotta understand something. When I hear something, I retain important parts, but once the context is forgotten, now I'm just saying things. And if somebody goes, well, how so? I'm like, I don't know. Some guy was really convincing, or some lady was very convincing. I started to realize I go a lot by like people's energy of like, I mean, obviously if they have proof, but I don't really go, oh yeah, well, let me go search those federal files and see what this, if this lady is really saying that this is public knowledge and it's easy to prove. But I don't, take her up on her offer of like, go find out for yourself and see that I'm telling the truth. I just go, I'm sure you're a good person because you've delivered everything very succinctly and from what seems very accurately. But I think that's about how most people go about life. They just go like, the news guy seems pretty, he's got a nice tie. He seems like he's talking, very articulately. I'm just gonna go with what the dude on the TV is saying.
Do you have a bias towards like what they look like or who they might be?
I don't listen to any Asian.
Wow. No, because I was gonna say, for some reason I just recognized that everybody that I've been listening to is Asian that I've been getting my news from.
Really?
I had no idea. Yeah, they're on YouTube.
Yeah, same here.
But like all my business advice and everything, they've all been Asian.
Yeah, that's I used to listen to the guy
the Clear Value Tax
Clear
guy?
Value Tax when the pandemic was on, because he seemed like he was very neutral, and not just the way he presented things, but in the way he would react to them. Like he would have human emotions, like I guess we won't be I wouldn't hold my breath on that, kind of a thing, but that's about his.
He's snarky.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that like that nasty of the things he would say. He would just be like, I mean, what we're pretty much all thinking, and then he would just say the news, like the politicians are doing this, the government is doing that, and then he just put his fucking like little notes on the side and just keep going. And that something like that, that's like what I mean by like I go by the energy. His energy just didn't
I liked
seem
hearing him put the paper on the table.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, get him.
Yeah, and it just seemed like it was just all the context without the opinion that you see like on even with YouTube news channels. But you definitely have that little like you said, snarkiness, but like really on, like laid on thick, and that really nastiness, and that weird presenter voice of making things sound like like the tone in their voice sounds like. But what we have to understand is that this is not just something that is going to right. They have this way of presenting it like with emotion, and you can tell just by the sound of their voice what they think about what they're saying. And not only that, then they'll tell you what I think is that the Democrats or that the Republicans, and little do these people know that, well, these folks are all playing for the same team, man. It's just a fucking wrestling game or wrestling match. Something to make you think that they're actually, I know, and I think some of the politicians actually do think, oh, it's us against them. But the reality is they're working for the same people, man. The strikers for the Union Railroad, they were trying to protest to get sick leave. And what these motherfuckers did in the government is they basically voted to make the railroad strike go away by forcing him to take a deal. I didn't even know you could do that. Yep. I didn't know that the government could tell a union,
make you work.
Yeah, can tell a union, go fuck yourself. You guys are not fucking with this industry. You're not gonna go on strike. You're gonna take whatever they give you, and that's it. And I was like, I thought the whole point of a union was that to prevent people from making you work.
It depends who's running the union.
Well,
look, these are the guys that I listen to all the time. So the one we're talking about, the Clear Value Tax guy.
Yeah, that's a good. I think that's a good place to get news. It's
There's this guy who from Kitco News.
What the fuck is Kitco News, bro?
They just talk about like stocks and gold and.
What
Bitcoin.
does Kitco stand for? What
I
is
have
it?
no idea.
You just go on this shit,
and I've been watching it for years. And the other one is this guy, Crypto or Us. And then one day it hit me. I'm like, holy shit, they're all Asian. I didn't even click in my head.
Oh, shit. Well, I mean, you obviously have a type.
I guess so. I just...
Well, maybe Asians are more prone to being neutral, given their...
maybe it's just coincidence.
Societal role as folks who tend to be, as a group, not very problematic, highly educated.
Kitco News is the world's #1 source of metal market information.
Everybody says they're not the #1 source, though. Oh, but this is specific to like just economics.
Yeah.
See,
Actually, all three of them are.
See, folks, you got to get into economics, man. And I'm not saying this because I do it, because I don't. But I guess what I'm saying, I'm projecting. I'm saying I should start learning more about how the economy works.
So apparently there's supposed to be a silver squeeze, because JP Morgan has been shorting the silver markets, and it should be shooting up to...
You mean actual silver? I thought it was like a saying.
No, actual silver. And it's supposed to shoot up to $100. And that's why I've been holding for the past 11 years, because one day it's going to happen.
What does that mean, a squeeze?
It means I can't explain it, but that if you have a short squeeze, it's like the AMC thing, why it skyrocketed. Because people had a short squeeze, meaning that it was a short squeeze because the stock, I don't know. Damn it. I almost had it. I almost had it.
This is why this is not a news channel, folks.
I was trying, and then I felt like a dog chasing his tail, and I was like, nope, not going to happen.
It's attached to me, isn't it? I'm never going to catch it.
It's the AMC thing. There we go. That's all I know.
What the fuck? What do you, AMC? What is that?
It's the
American Movie Classics, the channel?
Is it AMC?
Yeah, see, dude, you're all assed up, man. Quit fucking giving people fucking information on how to
Yeah, it was AMC.
entertainment holdings. Oh, they plummeted? Is that what it is?
Wait, let me see. They went all the way up to. Fuck, it's not AMC. Son of a bitch. Is it AMC? It was.
Hey, man, the people are coming here to hear fucking news, and you're over here fucking around, not knowing what the fuck you're talking about.
No, it was
Right.
AMC.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, put all your money into AMC. That's what Josh told me.
For example, AMC Theater lost $4.6 billion in 2020 due to COVID, but its share price benefited from a short squeeze, just like GME. It was GME. There we go. Moreover, investors still remain optimistic. And what is a short squeeze? What was the other one? GME.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would recommend going to your local loan shark.
GameStop. It was GameStop. That's what it was.
Oh, so you mean
So it went all the way up to 500 per share, and the short interest was over 140%.
meaning if you just go in and out real quick?
Meaning there was 40% more short squeeze than actual stock.
I don't know what any of this fucking means, dude.
What
I'm
is a
dumb.
short squeeze? Short squeeze is a term used to describe a phenomenon in financial markets where a sharp rise in the price of an asset forces traders who previously sold short to close out their positions.
I
You got it now, Raul?
I
Do you
have no idea
understand?
what the fuck that means. It started making sense at first. I was like, okay, big spike.
What triggers it's if a stock price rises quickly, the short sellers sometimes scramble to so they got to cover their investment. They got
Damn,
to
dude, this is what my poor mother has to go through when she gets like a letter in English, and she's like, I don't know what this means. I was like, Mom, you know what these words mean? And she's like, yeah, but I don't know what they mean when they're together
How
this
about
way.
a high volume investors who are shorting a stock and racing to exit their positions at the same time creates a short squeeze.
Oh, see, I kind of had an idea that this is, but I was like, that's too simple.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So when it rises, everybody just bails out and gets a bunch of money out of it, and then it leaves everybody with their dick in their hand.
By the way, I feel super stupid for the last 10 minutes of trying to explain it. And after just saying I watch all these stock channels.
I know,
feel
right?
real
But see,
dumb.
this is how I am with the news. I follow politics only because, like the show that I watch, like the Jimmy Dore show with Kurt Metzger.
Yeah.
Like that's just, to me, it's funny. You know, they have some funny takes, especially Kurt. But once it's over, I'm just like, damn. Wait, why is the CIA fucking with us? I just know they're doing some shady shit. But it's so weird, man. Like the Twitter files supposedly shows that the Twitter employees were in contact with the FBI, and the FBI was like telling them, "Hey, man, can you fucking get rid of this fucking dude?" Like, and then they would like put codes in there that would like suppress the person's Twitter account, or
They do that
or
with all
or
social
you couldn't
media.
search it. Yeah, it's called shadow banning, but this is the first time that it's like actually like officially known now with proof. Like usually it used to be just like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm getting shadow banned, and that was all the evidence you could muster. Be like, dude, people can't find me, and this is actual proof of like emails of messages between the FBI and the Twitter employees of them going like, right on it, you know, and they'll be like, yep, gotcha, like stuff like that. And it's weird to me, like the FBI has done so many, or the security agencies in America, they've done so much shady shit, and I'm still baffled that some people go like, what? There's nothing wrong with that. It's our government trying to make sure we're safe, and they're trying to like tell this company to suppress this because it could be misinformation. It's like, dude, all the times that the government has lied to us. Like, just, you think now they just grew a fucking heart and just decided like, hey guys, I think we better cool it with this whole like conspiracy stuff that we're doing. I think we should just start shooting straight from now on. It's like, no, dude, that's what it is. It's like fucking, it's a mafia, especially in the United States, man. Fuck, this place has turned wild.
But it makes you feel important. Like, it's like, damn. And they probably sold it to him like, you work with us. You're basically part of the, you're helping save your country.
Yeah, I think a lot of these people are not like these evil motherfuckers. It's like, we're going to take down America from the inside. It's just, you know, you're some fucking dopey fucking journalist, and then the FBI tells you, hey, our nation needs you right now.
Yeah.
Our nation needs you to push this article or to suppress this article. And of course you're going to be like, dude, I'm right on it. I'm like an honorary fucking FBI guy. And that probably makes people, you know, it gives them that warm, fuzzy feeling of like, I'm fucking helping. I'm helping the country. But, you know, that's probably how some people on the other side view themselves. It's like, dude, we got to expose all these pedophiles and these liberal nut jobs that are teaching our kids. It's like, well, yeah, I'm sure there's some people like that, but it's not, everybody's not motivated by some kind of evil, you know. For the most part, I think human beings just see things in their own perspective and they just run with it.
I think it's money. I think if you follow like what you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, I mean that certainly sweetens the deal, but there's also that aspect of like, I'm helping the country or I'm doing the right thing. It's like, somebody put it this way. It's like,
well, that's not what I mean. Not the individuals doing that. I'm saying as far as why they're blocking certain things or why they got to get certain people in a controversial video or whatever. We'll say it's money. You know what I mean? It all comes down to arms deals and drug deals and keeping certain people in power, and you know what I mean? So,
oh yeah, but there's also like ideologues, like people who, like well, this is what I was getting at, is some people, politics is replaced religion, and sometimes it's replaced sports and religion. It's like politics is like a weird combination between being a sports fan and a religious zealot. You know what I mean? Like if your team gets caught doing something wrong, it's your team. You're not going to sit there and go, yeah, fuck my team for cheating. You're going to go like, they all do it. Fuck, what do we got to sit here and like split hairs when my fucking team does it, but not when your team? You know, it's not even looked at as like, this is wrong or this is right. It's like, it's my team, man. Fuck you. You're just mad because we're winning.
Yep.
Right? It's like, if you ain't winning, you ain't trying.
My family got really mad at me because I go, well, politics trumps your religion. And they're like, no, it doesn't. I was like, yes, it does, because all of us are Catholic here. And I pointed to my dad. I was like, but he's Democrat. And I pointed to my dad. I was like, you're Republican. And both of you disagree with a lot of things that the Pope says. And I was just like, so what trumps what? It's the politics.
Right.
That trumps it.
Yeah, that's where you draw the line.
Yeah. And then my dad was like, but we all come together, though, at the end. I'm like, you come together and you argue about politics. You're like, they're wrong. They're wrong. They're globalists.
Jesus Christ, right? That's not that it goes that far where people won't talk to their family members.
The separation of church and state was a mental separation as well. So where it's like, oh yeah, we're all going to be the same religion, but they can be different politics.
We didn't interpret it fully. It was like, no, it's physically, but also in your head too, stupid. Like, what? But it really has, man. It gets fucking like super religious, like religious. Well, I mean, and maybe it's just on Twitter. I think for the most part, the people that I've met, because I have friends who are both super conservative and super liberal, right? And when I hang out with them, they seem like the most cool people, or like the cool people that I've always known them to be. It's only when they start getting into politics that it's like, oh shit, now you're talking about Jesus, you know, or Muhammad.
This is how far it's gone. It goes into the church, because there's certain Catholic church. We've gone to a bunch of them in San Antonio, and there's some, I'm like, literally, they're giving, like, they have it up on the projector and they're giving PowerPoints about why you should vote Democrat.
Oh shit.
I went to another one, and it was like, our country is under attack. These pedophiles, and they're like that, like hardcore, like
Right,
QAnon.
right.
I'm just like, is this all the same church? Like, this is what the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
is going on? And so we found one
That is very interesting.
where the guy does in 30 minutes, and he wants to be a comedian. He just goes up there and starts every 5 minutes of jokes.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love that.
And I was just like,
This is one of the reasons why I think I took to stand up a lot easier, was because I grew up with seeing this like 3 or 4 times a week of a man going up on stage and having his material, and then going through the notes, and then we read the thing, and then he lets it go, and he starts walking around and elaborating on the point that's being made. And there was some that you'd be listening to it, and then they would crack a joke, and the whole audience laughs, and you almost feel good as an audience member, like, oh man, that was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we're getting like good information too.
and that's why gays shouldn't be married.
And that's why gays are making Jesus cry every time they kiss. Dude, it's fucking nuts, man. But I mean, it's so similar, because I remember there was traveling preachers. I guess they would go on the road, and they all had different styles, different delivery.
Yep.
Some of it's, fire and brimstone. Some of it's more like, I'm going to teach you from a psychological point, and the other ones are like, the end of days is coming. Everybody had their own like little angle,
Yeah.
their own delivery
Some
style.
torture. There was one that my brother and I, when we were little, couldn't stop laughing because he had an effeminate voice. And Jesus said, and I'm just we're in the
Man
back,
shall not lay with another man.
and me and my brother in the back crying, and my dad's getting so pissed off, and my mom was getting mad at us until I was just like, listen to, and then I started like mimicking him as he's doing it, and my mom starts cracking up. I was like, what was that about? But we had no idea. We just thought his voice was funny. And then he got mad. My dad would get mad because we'd go home and we'd do the priest voice. I'm like, we're doing the priest voice. What are you talking about?
All right, we're going to say our prayer before we eat.
Our Father.
Thank you for the food. It's delicious.
Oh, man. He was only there like 2 weeks, but
God, you think they got rid of him?
they like move around.
How
during
does the Catholic,
holidays.
the Catholic
They give him a house next to the church.
right?
And there's usually like a one that stays there for a few years.
So it's like a resident.
Yeah, residency for a few
yeah.
years, and then they move them around. But every once in a while, they have like, you go do like a set there, and you go to that person's church.
To go try out my material at
Yeah,
St. Anthony's, because that crowd is a little more forgiving.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. That's weird. I never grew up. Like, it's weird that I'm Mexican, like from Mexico. You would think I'd be Catholic as fuck, but I'm just this anomaly that grew up with the super evangelical Mexican version of it, which is like, like a little bit more strict, I thought, than the American version. Mm-hmm. Like when I came to the United States and we started going to more, not more American, but like Hispanic American, Mexican American evangelical church. It was I started realizing, that there's a lot more leeway. Like, I guess we have Christian rock music where they have a guitar. Like, that was unheard of to me, like early 90s, and going to church and hearing the American version of evangelical Christian sect. It was more modernized. I was like, damn, they got guitar, they got solos and shit. And when we used to go to the evangelical church in Mexico, it was more like, they still had the instruments, but it was more like da, 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 da. And over here was like, wow, like Jesus, wow. I was like, this is cool. I like this.
Do you remember Just Say No from Nancy Reagan and like, maybe you saw videos at school about it, and
yes, no, we had
plays,
the Dare program.
The Dare program was just like that, and they just took out Jesus. You know what I mean? It was the same type of singing songs, same type of lessons. They just took Jesus out of the whole thing.
But I mean, like, but it never became like a movement that got out of the school system and regular people.
No,
so it's limited.
I'm saying from what I thought it was copied from, because
I
didn't recognize it at first until I went to a non-Catholic church and they had all that, and they had like, oh yeah, and if you want a snack, go get a snack. And I'm like, we're in the middle of church. What are you talking about? Go get a snack.
Yeah.
It's like, you can just walk around and do. I'm just like, this is all right, cool.
And there's dancing.
Dancing.
The music would be playing, and it was not considered bad to just get up and start dancing because you were dancing for the Lord. So it was basically just a lot of hopping around and trotting. I mean, people didn't like just start popping that thing or anything. It was just like a lot of jumping around.
Feeling the Holy Ghost.
Yes, and it was considered, because the Holy Ghost is in you, but it's like, no, dude, it's good music. Fuck, I want to move my body. But it was presented as like, and then if the next level is you start, doing the little speaking in tongues thing.
Oh man, looking back at some of the things, like I remember we go to. It said it wasn't Sunday; it was on Tuesdays we'd go, and I remember we were like seniors, and they were all in the back, and they put candles all the way around us, and we're like all meditating and people praying, and people are crying. And then I look up, and I remember just seeing all the candles and how dark it is, and how, and I felt
like cult here.
Yeah, that's exactly, because there's the guy going like over people, and I was just like, all right,
Wait, are you talking about where you physically go up to the people?
It's just like 15 of us in a classroom, but it's not a classroom.
Right.
It's just like a room, and there's candles lit everywhere, and they're doing these like chants like that. And we're supposed to be
like
praying.
Speaking in tongues, you mean?
Yeah. But that part felt it felt foreign. I was just like, I think we're not doing like regular.
This is a little paganish, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it felt like. Exactly, because
dude, it's in our blood. It's human beings need. That's why it's so easy for people to take up politics as a religion, because it's in our blood to want to do rituals and feel safe about what we're doing.
But
and believe it.
It's a specific thing with Mexican Catholicism.
Yes.
And that's the part that I was just like, oh, this is not what other Catholics apparently are doing.
Yeah. So it was officially a Catholic gathering?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like straying a little bit towards
No, people whoever teaches you is going to add their own flavor to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then eventually it's just going to become
And who's going to want to teach it? The people who feel like...
The people who are most fervent about it.
Yeah, and like, I am a future saint, and I want to... You know what I mean?
It's like I'm a vessel of God. God is moving through me.
Yeah.
Which is why eventually in a cult, they want to end up fucking your wife. Because it's from... We were talking about it... I was talking about it with George the other day about how, because he had a bit about how like basically God got Joseph's wife pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, maybe that's why cult leaders, they're always talking about, I'm Jesus, but also let me fuck your wife. Because there's already that culture's already been put in there. They're like, hey, dude, sometimes God wants to take your chick out for a ride, but it's for God.
It's the ego.
No, the ego is what prevents me from letting that happen. It's like, no, dude, you're not going to fuck my wife.
No, the ego of the guy who does the cult.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the ego of a man who presents himself as God has to be pretty big, right? So does that mean that Jesus had an ego, or is it that he was the real thing and the imitators? I mean, you can be a good person and have a big ego, or is it not? Is it not true?
If you're...
What about a comedian?
Able to contain it.
Comedian.
If you're able to contain that ego.
You express it in a healthy way. Everybody shut up. I'm about to be funny.
Okay, see...
But then you deliver. Is that ego, though?
I don't know. Well, see, I think it's how you define ego, because some people when they define ego, they just think all the positive thing and that I am the best. But an ego can also be with the reverse, where that negative talk to yourself, that's your own ego thinking that you should be better than where you are and not satisfied.
Oh,
so
shit.
it's like a negative thing. You know what I mean?
So if whatever's driving me to be better can be not just a good work ethic, it could also be the ego going like, you need to be better, faster, stronger.
Yeah. See, so that's why I don't like I killed my ego or ego death. And I'm just like, oh, your ego just expanded. When you think your ego's dead, it just expanded because it can't even see itself.
No, but there's some times where you feel your ego taken down a notch.
Yeah, but you don't say your ego's dead. You're just like, I feel like shit.
And you're like, damn, better luck next time, I guess.
Every time somebody says my ego's dead, they feel very high. They feel like, you know what I mean? Nobody's at the bottom being like, my ego's dead now. They're just like, I have no more ego. This is all clear.
I guess maybe it's the mentality of the people that would use that phrase to begin with. Because if I ever said my ego is dead, it would be like after a long bomb.
Mm-hmm. My confidence is dead.
And I mean, it'd basically be semantics, because what I would mean is my confidence is shit. But I could say like, man, that crushed my ego. Like, meaning like I have nothing left. I feel terrible.
Crushed, but not killed.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You can have it to where it's just, but you still have the ego.
Right. I guess it's pretty presumptuous for somebody to go like, it's gone, all gone.
Yeah.
Got rid of all of it, all the negative shit.
Because
I'm pure now.
If you bombed, your ego wouldn't hurt because it's dead. I don't have, you bomb sometimes. You don't have an ego about it.
Right. It's almost like saying, I got rid of my soul and things haven't been great. Things have been great.
So when people say it's dead, it's like it's so big that you don't even perceive it. You're living within your ego right now.
But who would say that though?
I believe Chris Rock's new tour was called Ego Death or something.
That just sounds cool, you know? It just sounds cool after you get the shit slapped out of you. What else are you going to call it?
Slap the ego out of him.
Ego death, you know? It's like he got humbled.
Yeah, Ego Tour.
Ego Death World Tour.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I was right.
But it does sound, I mean, you got to admit, it sounds cool after, what else is, you know? I mean, I think it would be weirder if he's like still killing it.
Yeah.
You know, and be like, dude, you just had shit slapped out. He had to address it.
Yeah.
And also, like, that's not a bad fucking name for a, you know, for a special or a tour.
All right. Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I don't believe in an ego death.
Right.
You need, and I think you need your ego. You know what I mean? To either spur you to do better or to just be confident.
So what's the difference between the ego and the id? There are like layers of that shit. I forgot what the id is. The id might be like the thing that keeps you surviving or that wants you to survive no matter what. And ego is just
I've never heard id.
You never heard the id? ID? Look it up. ID, the definition of id. ID. It's like I don't know if it's, I think it's psychological term, but it's like an official What? Go ahead.
The part of the mind which initiate instinctive impulses and primary processes are manifest. The conflict between the drives of the ID, the id, and the demands of the cultural superego.
Right. So the id is basically, it's like the
Survival.
Instinctive impulses and primary processes are manifested.
Your reptilian brain?
I guess, yeah. But I don't think reptilian brain is an actual term, like a psychological term.
It's unconscious, though.
Right. Basic urges, needs, and desires. Right. So like when you're a little kid and you start talking to girls, that's your id. It's like, it's instinctual. Nobody teaches
My son has a lot of id.
Nobody teaches your son that he's supposed to like girls. He just does. It's his id. Like he's already macking on chicks.
And this guy, because I was telling Raul about my son telling these girls, 22-year-old girls, he's just like, so I make movies and trying to have a conversation about art. I was just trying to discuss art with them. And there was a dad. He goes, "How long's your son been doing that?" And I was just like, "Man, he's been like that since he was little. Anytime he saw a pretty girl, he's like, no, movies." And I was just like, "Oh, I thought you meant how long has he been a womanizer his whole life?"
Stupid. You know what? That's how fucked up I am. I thought you were gonna. That's what you were getting at. That's what the dude like. Hey, how long has he been on Little Mac Daddy?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And he was just like, "No, making movies. That's I don't know."
Oh, I thought you meant like putting in work.
Oh yeah, his movies, they're great. They're all about women. There's a lot of boobs.
But see, yeah, that's the id, man. That instinctual, like nobody taught you. There's just human beings surviving. Like, so what's up, girl? What you doing? You work here all the time? All right, and the ego is what the thing that makes you feel important about the world.
Is I know. The ego is like, you should know me. You don't know me,
right? But that's a characteristic of it.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that actually mean? Like the ego, as opposed to it says
the
it right
ego
here,
is
right?
where the conscious mind lives. So the id is the unconscious, and the ego is the conscious. It's lumbered with the tricky job of satisfying the id's wild desires in a realistic and socially acceptable way. So don't eat people.
Satisfying id. Wait, it slumbered with the tricky job of satisfying the id's wild desires in a realistic and socially acceptable. Oh, okay. So the id is like, I want to fuck all the time. And the ego goes, yeah, bro, but you got to get dressed and you got to be nice to girls. So they don't think you're a fucking creep.
The ego has to find the plan.
Right.
The ego has to find the plan how to get there. I don't know why I did that when I did it. The ego has to find that.
Well, yeah, it's your slick talking huckster mentality of like, you got to finagle your way in there.
Damn, I just showed it. Not even, I'm gonna be straightforward and just like, I'm gonna go through this shit like, wow.
I'm gonna get in there one way or another, bro. I'm like water slipping into these motherfuckers' minds and shit. Oh shit. Well, that's fucking crazy. So they kind of working like, well, then what the fuck is a super ego?
I'm gonna look that up right now.
All right, so it's basically two buddies. One is like always getting hammered, and the ego is like, I know, dude, I want to get laid too, but we gotta fucking chill.
That's what it's called, superego, the part of a person's mind that acts as a self-critical conscious.
Reflecting social standards learned from parents and teachers. Oh, and then there's the older brother. Super ego is the older brother. Like, hey guys, I understand id. I understand you want to fuck. Ego, I understand you want to finagle people, but we got to do this by the rules.
Shit, that's what it is. I didn't even describe my ego. I described my super ego.
Super ego.
Maybe my ego's so small and it's all super ego. Fuck, it's all super ego. No wonder, that makes sense.
Ooh, girl, he's all super ego. He's no id, all super ego. But so super ego is what our culture tells you. Oh, look, there it is. It's a nice little cartoon.
Yeah.
It's all yours. Forget about your brother. Keep it all for yourself. That's the id. And the ego is, I know mom gave me this candy to share with my brother. We should split it evenly. Super ego, you know that your brother loves candy. You should give it all to him and not be greedy.
That's not.
It's kind of an example, but yeah. Because the super ego can go like, that's not kind to offer people candy in our culture.
I like this.
Okay, id, I want it now. Ego, I need to do a bit of planning to get it. Super ego, you can't have it. It's not yours.
It's not right.
This is a more negative version of it, right?
Yeah, that's the one I hear. See, so there is three voices in your head. Everybody telling me I'm fucking nuts.
Oh shit, we gotta bring this up into willful ignorance with George here, and then we gotta decide who's who.
Fuck. See, and like these people are playing it off as, like the devil and an angel, and you're the ego in the middle.
Ego, reality, super ego, morality. All right, so ego is more realistic. Super ego is a little more like I'm into horoscopes and crystals, and it is like, man, I'm just trying to get my dick sucked. And he's standing there with his dick all curvy and hanging out.
I think it's a tail.
Yeah, I know this is tail. But for these purposes, you know, let's say he's a deviant.
He looks like it.
A well-endowed deviant at that.
Can't be a deviant without it.
Healthy psyche. Well, now you know it's you have multiple people driving you. I look at it like as a what is it called? As like a board meeting of all the different types of you.
Mm-hmm.
There's the violent you. There's the softer you, and they're all sitting in a board meeting. You know, I always imagine there'd be like 8 or 10 of these motherfuckers. You know, people that like to plan things out. People that are like a version of you that's like, fuck it, let's wing it, man. I always have more fun winging it. And the lazy version was like, I'm with winging it, but only because I don't want to do the job.
I never saw it as a board meeting. I saw it like as everybody in a car on a long highway.
You're talking about like Fiona Apple in her fucking in her music video.
And I'm the one that's supposed to be driving, but I'm the one in the behind the driver, just like whatever. I'm that Fiona Apple.
No, I am the one driving, but I'm constantly turning around to talk to. What do you mean? I just keep my eyes off the road. Fuck you mean we need to stop right now? We got to keep going. Well, you got to find a way to handle yourself, man. I know I have, which is why I try to see. I'm not. I'm a good person in the sense that I'm fair to people. But I'm not in a good person as far as like, I got it all down. Dude, I make so many fucking mistakes. And it's not that I'm like okay with making mistakes all the time. It's like I understand that I have an addictive personality. So when I drink, I like to fucking drink. But when I take my days off, I eat healthy. I work out, right? But then after, you know, those 3 or 4 days are done, I'm like, fuck, I feel like having a drink now, especially if I'm going out to do stand-up comedy. And that's when it's like, all right, we got to let the demon loose for a little bit so it doesn't keep tossing and turning at night. And then you let your little demon out and you're just like, wow, fucking saying funny things on stage, get off. Oh, man, I love getting off stage and then just having a couple of drinks and a cigarette or many cigarettes and then just sitting like, that's why I love the Blind Tiger. Cause I've certainly romanticized it in the way of like, I love the ritual of going downstairs, doing my set. It goes great. I go back upstairs. I grab me a drink and I get a cigarette and I go outside and I relax. Because the whole time I'm just thinking about what I'm going to say. Oh, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say and this and that. So I'm going through, I could barely enjoy it. So afterwards, it's like I get my cigarette. I can talk to anyone about anything. And then I go downstairs, watch a little comedy. My friends make me laugh. Go back upstairs with a cigarette, chat it up a little bit. It's just fun. I find it so much fucking fun to do stand-up and let loose like that. But like I said, you know, part of managing yourself, I don't know what the id or ego versions of that scenario are, but there's definitely a part of me that goes like, all right, next couple of days, no drinking, and you got to go work out on a stationary bike or lift your little fucking 2-pound dumbbells and get a good workout in, man. But yeah, I don't know what the id or ego, super ego version of that is, but it's definitely something that I try to consciously do as far as like, you know, balance it out a bit. Because when I was younger in my 20s, when I started doing stand-up, I could just drink all the time and go out all the time, do stand-up. But as you get older, it's just like, it's unsustainable, man. Like both physically and mentally. Like mentally, I also go like, oh, tomorrow's going to suck if I get hammered tonight. You know, but also like physically, it's going to take me longer. I can't just, like, I remember I remember the first time I felt like, not even felt old. Like I knew this is it. Cause I used to always, I could drink right? And then the next day, all I had to do was like pound a Pedialyte and then take my little water container, and I could go to the gym and actually get a good, decent workout. And I was doing it up until I moved to New York. I would still be able to do that. And then sometime around like the first year in New York, where I tried to do it one more time. I woke up after drinking a lot. I was like, pound a Pedialyte, get my drink of water. I went to the gym, and I could not do it anymore. And I was like, fuck, like I can't even lift this, and it's less weight than I usually do. And I was like, I'll just go run. And I just feel like tired, and I'd be like, fuck, dude, like this out. And I just remember thinking, oh, this is it. I'm learning in Brooklyn, New York, in this Planet Fitness, that I have now become too old to be able to be irresponsibly responsible. I mean, like I could fuck up, but make it up later. It's like, nope. Now you're either irresponsible completely or just responsible the whole way through. And that definitely comes with age, man. Because how old are you? You're like 2 years younger than us?
Yeah, 37.
37. I'm about to be 39 in March.
But I had back surgery at like 24.
Jesus Christ,
so
man.
I've been old.
You said that happened in a basketball game?
Yeah.
Just like that? How can you...
Well, no, I had back problems since I was like 13. It's just that was the part where like it really fucked me up. And then a couple of years later, surgery. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten like looked at like by a specialist or something?
Yeah, a bunch.
Yeah? What did they tell you?
They always want to put their finger in my butt. And I'm like, that's my back. No, I don't understand why you want to do that, but okay.
Check out that back.
A bunch of MRIs and stuff. And there's no cartilage in between the L5, S1.
How the fuck does that happen though?
It ruptured. And so when it ruptures, like the gooiness in the middle, that part dries up.
And it's just bone rubbing on itself.
So it hurt because the nerve it kept pinching the nerve and getting in there. So I get sciatica. But what ended up happening was it got so dry that it basically fused together on its own because there's nothing there. So it's just bone on bone.
It's just connected.
It's just connected. But now I don't feel the separate. Like I used to jump and I felt like my lower half and bottom half would separate. That's the way it feels.
Right. Like a slinky effect.
Yeah, I don't feel that anymore. Like my back doesn't pop.
It just moves like one stick.
Yeah. But now it's traveled up my entire spine, and now all the way up to like between my.
Well, they don't have
shoulders.
anything for that. Stem cells?
They told me to quit being a bitch. Is what they.
Oh no.
Yeah, no. Stem cells apparently can help, and if it's not completely dead, it can regrow. But if it's dead completely, what you might be, then
there's nothing they can do. You can't have even like a prosthetic disc, or is that like too much of a risk?
I'm fine with it now, as long as I don't have the nerve pain. The nerve pain is what fucking
like that stiff you up, shocking.
Yes, you can't move. Yeah. And even if it's just like, oh, stop it's not even. It's the pain, but it's like the pain where it's like you can't move, like you're stuck.
Two or three times I've had like a little. And only scared, not because it immobilized me for a long time, but definitely like just like bending down to get something and then just feeling it going like, uh-oh. And then eventually it would go away after like a couple of minutes, maybe just a few seconds too. But still, just the thought like, wait a minute. Oh no, that's like that old guy shit for real. Like you make fun of it all. I would make fun of it all the time. Like somebody going, Dad! It's like, oh, it's a gag in a comedy sitcom of a guy going, but when you feel it, you're like, oh fuck, it's real and it's happening to me. You
get pain, and it radiates down your foot. You get pain in the back of your knee, and then your feet start going. Your left foot, my left foot started going numb.
Oh shit! So you have it bad.
And then before I had the surgery for 2 weeks, it like wrapped around, like because I coughed and it slid something out, and it was pinching the nerve, and then this left leg just curled and wouldn't let go, and then it shrunk, right? Because I'm not using it.
Yeah.
It shrunk, and then I lost feeling. Like I couldn't feel my dick. I couldn't feel my balls.
Oh fuck, dude!
I was scared. I'm like,
I was about to say, Jesus Christ.
And the doctor's telling me it's just like that left leg, you might not get the feeling back.
Really?
So I just have a little leg, like yeah.
Fuck.
But I did Pilates.
I was about to say, well, did you do anything to
Pilates for a year? It took me like a few months to
that actually
straighten my
help?
leg out. Yeah.
Save
my fucking leg.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you just keep doing it so that maybe it'll...
Because it's expensive. Yeah.
Dude, I'll make you one, dude.
A reformer?
That sliding thing.
Yeah, it's a reformer.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll make you one for like $500.
That was made by a guy in World War I to help veterans get better.
Like rehab?
Yeah, rehab them.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to do something.
And it was called Pilates.
It was an Italian guy?
I don't know. Welcome to Pilates.
No, isn't it?
I don't know.
I always thought it was Pilates because you're using pulleys.
Joseph Pilates.
What
He
is
was
it?
German.
What is the... Oh.
That-
What is that machine called? The Liberator? Oh, that's a Liberator if I've ever seen one. Do you remember seeing those on the Maximum FHM magazines?
What?
At the back, they would advertise the Liberator.
No.
You don't remember that? Look up the Liberator. No, no, hold on.
This?
No. The Liberator, sex.
Sex what? Toy?
Yeah.
This?
Boom. Yes. It's like a little cushiony thing that is supposed to prop her up the right way.
Oh, this.
It comes with a fucking handle.
I don't think it's a handle. This.
Yes. And it was a weird couch thing that you would fold at different angles.
That thing's got a smell right here.
Oh,
After
dude,
all.
all the juices are falling into
All
it.
the juices. Yeah. I remember that.
That looks fun.
It looks
Look at that. This is like face down, ass up.
Mm-hmm.
God bless it. Oh, it basically it forces her into the proper position.
Cons: large and difficult to store. Picks up a lot of lint.
Oh, dude. And if you rub your socks on it, it'll shock you.
You would see that on late night TV. Yeah, that's
No,
a straight
that's
up dildo. On
It
this.
was on oh yeah, that was definitely a straight up dildo. On FHM, the magazine, and I don't think you never got FHM or Maxim?
No.
Because we used to have those magazines in Iraq and Afghanistan. Like when we first went to Afghanistan, there would be like tons of those fucking magazines, and that's where I saw some of the most beautiful chicks that I had. Alicia Cuthbert. That was the first time I ever saw Alicia Cuthbert. I was like, God damn. Fucking. There was also these other like famous like TV stars that would do a FHM. It was like basically. It was like supposed to be like Playboy magazine, but without the nudity. It
Soft
would just,
porn.
Yeah, they would just be like in bikinis or like covering up their titties and stuff like that. But it was spank material
Like
for
Sports Illustrated swimsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was more like they also had like like articles about like weird fun guy shit. You know, it was like somebody made a rocket in their backyard and this and that. And also look at these fucking badass bitches. Monica Bellucci, she looked fucking nice.
I look back at that, like, why? I can't believe I even touched those magazines. Now I see a Playboy or something, I'm like, I'm not touching that.
Why? Because you're afraid somebody might have put their disgusting hands on it?
I assume 100% that happened.
That there's...
that magazine is not pure.
Unless I unwrapped it out of its fucking plastic.
Yep.
I'm not touching that shit.
That's it. It's the equivalent as like the magazines. You go to people's houses and it's right by the toilet. You're like, oh, reading materials. Like, you mean all the shit on your magazines that's been there 20 years?
Fucking shit particles.
Yeah, 20 years of
out.
shit.
Oh, dude, you open it and it's just coming out. Fucking little jizz flakes.
Oof. I never understood that. The fucking just right by the shitter.
I know, all full of caca.
And you're smelling the cologne.
Smells like doo doo and and perfume.
That somebody just put a thing of doo doo on the.
Dude, I remember taking the mag. Like people, there would be different types of dudes. Like some guys would just have like a little stashed. Either pictures or fucking something they cut out of a magazine. And there'd be dudes who straight up like grab the magazine, fold it, and be like, I'm gonna go beat off. I'll be right back. Fucking white dude, I swear to God, man.
It's very comfortable about it.
Yeah. And being in the fucking porta potties when it's 110 degrees outside. And then just beating off while sweating.
It's the best way to do it, I think.
Religious experience. You've never experienced it until you've done that. Walk out and let the fresh air hit you afterwards. Feels great. Well, how much time have we done?
Hour 20.
Oh, shit. Fucking great. Do you got anything going on, man?
Yeah. This comes out when?
Tonight.
Oh, shit. Okay. Then Thursday, Creek in the Cave, 7 o'clock. And Friday, 10 o'clock at the Blind Tiger Comedy Club. Check out comedyfrequency.com and whipmerch.com.
Hell yes. And once again, I am going to be headlining the Laugh Out Loud 21st through the 23rd. So if you guys been coming out, thank you. Appreciate it. If not, this is a good chance to come out, man. I'm sure it's going to be some fun shows. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys listening. Y'all take it easy. Have a good one. Bye.